Words are flowing out like endless rain into a paper cup. It's one of the most poetic lines John Lennon ever wrote. But the story behind Across the Universe is far more grounded, even a little messy. Born out of a marital argument, inspired by spiritual awakening, and ending up in space. This is the journey of a Beatles song that traveled across the universe, quite literally. It all began in early 1968. John Lennon was still married to Cynthia. Their marriage, though strained, was still intact. But one night after an argument with her, Lennon was restless. He couldn't sleep. So he got out of bed, went downstairs with his acoustic guitar, and out poured the words. John later said, "I was lying next to my first wife in bed, and I kept hearing these words. They were like a poem. I went downstairs and it just came. I don't know where it came from." He originally called the song The Word, but later changed it to Across the Universe, fitting for its dreamlike spiritual quality. A few weeks later, in February 1968, the Beatles left for India to study transcendental meditation with the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. The song's chorus, Jai Guru Deva Om, is a Sanskrit mantra meaning glory to the divine teacher. John wasn't particularly devout, but the mantra gave the song its meditative heartbeat. It wasn't a love song, it wasn't political, it was pure poetry, and maybe the most spiritual Beatles song ever written. The Beatles recorded Across the Universe on February 4th, 1968, just days before flying to India. Paul wasn't that interested in the song, and the session was frustrating for John. To his annoyance, producer George Martin had two female fans, Lizzie Bravo and Gayleen Pease, add backing vocals at the last minute. John later said, "I gave up on the song because it was so badly recorded. I let it go." The song didn't make it onto the White Album later that year. Instead, it was quietly released on a 1969 charity album in the UK, No One's Gonna Change Our World, supporting the World Wildlife Fund. This version included added sound effects like birds and nature sounds. But that still wasn't the final form. In 1970, producer Phil Spector took the original tapes and gave it the wall of sound treatment: strings, backing vocals, and echo. That version became the one most people know, released on Let It Be, 2 years after it was first recorded. In 2008, NASA beamed Across the Universe into deep space, aimed toward the North Star, Polaris, 431 light-years away. It was the first time a Beatles song had been officially transmitted into the cosmos. John Lennon often called it one of his favorite songs. In fact, he once said, "It's one of the best lyrics I've written. It's pure like a poem. It's the best I've ever done." George Harrison admired its spiritual tone. Paul McCartney, though not heavily involved in its creation, performed it live in later years. A gesture of respect. From Fiona Apple to David Bowie, countless artists have covered Across the Universe. Its lyrical depth and cosmic serenity have made it a favorite for tribute concerts and meditations. For fans, the song represents a moment of calm in the Beatles' stormiest period, a reminder that even in chaos, beauty can emerge. It began with a sleepless night and a fight, and became a song that traveled through time, memory, and space. A musical mantra for generations. This was the story of Across the Universe. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your favorite Beatles deep cuts in the comments. Until next time, keep listening and keep dreaming.